Greetings, seekers of truth. Today, we will embark on an incredible journey, exploring one of the most fascinating mysteries of human existence. Each of us has wondered at least once what happens after our earthly journey comes to an end. The question of whether the soul can decide when to return to a new incarnation is particularly intriguing. You see, this question is not as simple as it may initially seem. Imagine a soul that has just left its physical body. It is like a traveler standing at the crossroads of many paths. Each path leads to a new life, new experiences, new opportunities. But does this traveler have a map? Can it choose the timing of its next journey? The topic of reincarnation, or the rebirth of the soul, generates widespread interest across the globe. And this is not surprising. It touches on the very essence of our existence. Many of you have likely experienced an inexplicable sense of déjà vu or encountered people with whom you felt an instant connection. Perhaps these are echoes of past lives, reminders of the soul's endless journey through the ages. In our age of technology and scientific discovery, discussing such metaphysical questions might seem strange. However, it is precisely now, as life becomes faster and more unpredictable, that people increasingly turn to profound questions of existence. We seek answers not only in ancient teachings, but also in modern research, striving to combine the wisdom of the ages with a scientific approach. Perhaps you are currently going through a challenging period in your life. Maybe you have recently lost a loved one, or are contemplating the meaning of your own existence. Know that your questions and doubts are entirely natural. They show that you are ready to look beyond the mundane and touch something greater than our everyday reality. Let us try together to delve into this fascinating question, drawing on various sources of knowledge and the experiences of those who have dedicated their lives to studying the mysteries of the human soul. Remember, each of us is an explorer on this path, and each has a unique story of encountering eternity. The question of whether the soul can choose the moment of its next incarnation touches the core of our understanding of life and death. It is not just a philosophical reflection. Our attitude toward our own lives and what awaits us after them depends on the answer. Let us try to determine whether the soul truly has the freedom of choice, or whether its path is predetermined by certain cosmic laws. Imagine the soul as a traveler who has completed one journey and is preparing for the next. Does this traveler have time to rest? Can it decide when to embark on its new path? Or is there a cosmic schedule it must follow? These questions have intrigued sages and philosophers for centuries and continue to spark heated debates among researchers today. Some believe that the soul instantly transitions into a new body, like water flowing from one vessel to another. Others are convinced that there is a specific interval during which the soul can reflect on its past experiences and prepare for a new incarnation. A third group suggests that it all depends on the soul's level of development and the tasks it is meant to accomplish. In the modern world, we often face the need to make quick decisions. But what if, after completing its earthly journey, the soul has the opportunity to take its time? What if there is a special space where time flows differently, allowing the soul to thoughtfully consider its next step? These questions are especially relevant now, as many people feel they are living in constant haste and unable to grasp the significant moments of their lives. It is interesting that different spiritual traditions provide varying answers to this question. At the same time, modern research on near-death experiences and regression therapy offers new insights for reflection. They show that the soul's transition process might be far more complex and multifaceted than we have traditionally thought. Let us dive into this captivating topic together, examine various perspectives, and seek answers to the questions that intrigue us. Understanding the process of the soul's transition can help us not only overcome the fear of death, but also learn to live more consciously and fully. Ancient traditions from various cultures have left us a rich legacy of knowledge about the journey of the soul after physical death. Particularly fascinating is the experience of cultures that have studied this subject for centuries and created detailed descriptions of the soul's transition from one life to another. For instance, Tibetan tradition speaks of the Bardo state, a special intermediate period between death and rebirth. According to this teaching, the soul goes through several stages, each offering specific opportunities for choice. It is like traveling along a river with calm pools for rest and swift currents, carrying it toward a new incarnation. In ancient Egyptian tradition, there was a belief that after death, the soul embarked on a journey through the afterlife. This journey was not instantaneous. The soul required time to undergo various trials and transformations. Interestingly, the Egyptians believed that the soul had the ability to choose, but that choice depended on how righteous a life the person had lived. The process of the soul's transition is particularly detailed in the Tibetan Book of the Dead. According to this ancient text, the soul has several opportunities for liberation or choosing a new incarnation. Moreover, time in this intermediate state flows entirely differently from earthly time. What seems like a moment to us might be a lengthy period of reflection and decision-making for the soul. Ancient Greek philosophers also pondered this question. They spoke of the river Lethe, the river of forgetfulness, from which souls drink before their new incarnation. But most importantly, they emphasized the moment of choice. The soul chooses its next life based on the experiences of its previous incarnations. And you know what is remarkable? Despite differences in cultures and eras, all these traditions converge on one point. The soul's transition is not a mechanical process, but a complex path that allows for choice and awareness. They assert that the soul does not merely jump from one body to another, but undergoes a significant journey of transformation and preparation for new experiences. In the 20th century, the study of life after death reached a new level thanks to research on people who had undergone clinical death. Dr. Raymond Moody was the first to systematize these accounts in his famous book, Life After Life. His work opened a new chapter in understanding what happens to consciousness after physical life ends. Particularly intriguing are the studies of Dr. Michael Newton, who spent decades researching the between lives state through deep hypnosis. His patients recounted astonishingly similar stories about how the soul prepares for a new incarnation. According to them, there is an entire process of planning the next life, where the soul indeed has the freedom to choose. Modern studies of near-death experiences provide us with unique evidence. People who have survived clinical death often speak of encounters with deceased relatives, a sense of extraordinary peace and freedom. Many report being given a choice to return to their body or continue their journey. This may indicate that the soul indeed possesses a certain degree of freedom in its choices. Interestingly, medical professionals who frequently deal with the death of patients note remarkable patterns. For instance, some people seem to wait for a specific moment to pass away after meeting a loved one or completing an important task. This indirectly supports the idea that the soul can influence the timing of its departure and perhaps the timing of its new incarnation. Scientists studying the phenomenon of reincarnation have documented thousands of cases where young children spontaneously recall their past lives. These memories are often verifiable and contain astonishingly accurate details. In some cases, the interval between death in the previous life and the new birth was just a few years, while in others, it spanned several decades. This suggests that the time gap between incarnations can vary. All these modern studies, while not providing a definitive answer, paint an intriguing picture. They show that the process of the soul's transition may be far more conscious and deliberate than we are accustomed to thinking. When considering the factors influencing the soul's choice, we uncover a complex system of interconnections. Imagine the soul as an experienced traveler carefully planning its next route, taking into account numerous important aspects. One of the key factors is karma, the experiences and lessons the soul has accumulated in previous lives. It is akin to a school curriculum where one cannot advance to the next grade without mastering the current material. Some souls may need a pause to reflect on their lived experiences, while others may be ready to continue their journey immediately. Unfinished business often becomes a significant factor in deciding on a new incarnation. This could include unfulfilled promises, unrealized talents, or interrupted relationships. The soul may feel the need to return to complete what was started or to correct past mistakes. Emotional connections with loved ones play a special role. Souls often agree to incarnate together or in a specific sequence to support one another during significant moments in life. Sometimes, a soul may wait until someone close to it is born, so it can arrive as their child, sibling, or friend. Spiritual tasks and lessons also determine the timing of a new incarnation. Some souls require time to prepare for challenging life trials, while others are eager to quickly continue their developmental journey. This is similar to preparing for an important exam. Some need more time to get ready, while others are prepared to take it immediately. Interestingly, the choice of the moment for a new incarnation may also depend on global tasks. Some souls arrive in groups during certain historical periods to participate in significant events or contribute to humanity's development. They are like members of a team who agree to meet at the right time and place. All these factors create a complex mosaic of possibilities and obligations. The soul, existing in the space between lives, must consider all these elements to make the best decision about the timing of its next incarnation. This reminds us of how profound and deliberate the transition process from one life to another can be. The theory of instant reincarnation sparks much debate among researchers. Some believe that the soul can indeed immediately transition into a new body, as if moving from one room to another. This view is supported by cases where children remember their past lives that ended only recently, sometimes just days or months before their new birth. Proponents of rapid reincarnation offer an interesting argument. The soul, as an energetic entity, seeks active expression and development. Just as nature abhors a vacuum, the soul may strive to quickly continue its path of growth in the physical world. This is especially relevant if the previous life was cut short suddenly or left tasks unfinished. However, there is another perspective that emphasizes the necessity of a pause between incarnations. Its advocates argue that the soul requires time to process the experiences of its past life. It is akin to needing sleep after an intense day to digest impressions and restore energy. The duration of this pause may vary depending on numerous factors. The interval between lives can hold great significance for the soul's development. During this period, important work takes place, analyzing the lived life, meeting with other souls, and preparing for new tasks. Some researchers compare this to planning a major project. The more thorough the preparation, the more successful the implementation. It is believed that the length of the pause between incarnations may depend on the soul's level of development. Young souls, like enthusiastic students, may seek to acquire new experiences more quickly. More mature souls might remain in the interlife space longer, engaging in more complex tasks and assisting other souls. Interestingly, time in the interlife space may be perceived entirely differently from time in the physical world. What seems like a long period to us may feel like a moment to the soul, and vice versa. This reminds us that our earthly perceptions of time may be very limited compared to the true nature of reality. Understanding how the soul transitions from one life to another holds profound practical significance for each of us. This knowledge can significantly influence how we live our current lives and approach the inevitability of change. When we realize that every moment of our lives can be part of a larger plan for the soul, our attitude toward daily life shifts. Ordinary events take on new meaning. A chance encounter may turn out to be an important lesson, and obstacles along the way may be trials specifically chosen for our growth. This helps us view life's challenges not as injustices of fate, but as opportunities for development. This knowledge is especially important for those who have experienced the loss of loved ones. Understanding that the soul has choices and continues its development can bring comfort during difficult times. This does not eliminate the pain of loss, but helps us see a broader picture of what is happening. Our loved ones do not disappear without a trace. They continue their journey, perhaps preparing for a future reunion with us. The fear of death is one of humanity's deepest anxieties. But when we begin to see death not as an end, but as a transition, everything changes. Understanding that the soul has a certain degree of freedom in its journey helps reduce anxiety about the unknown. It is like preparing for a long journey. The more we know about the upcoming path, the calmer we feel. Awareness of the soul's ability to choose also affects how we build relationships with others. If souls can truly agree to meet in future lives, then every relationship takes on special value. This teaches us to treat those we encounter along our way with greater care, understanding that these meetings may not be accidental. Such a perspective on life helps us develop a more conscious attitude toward our actions and choices. If every one of our deeds impacts not only our current life, but also our future incarnations, it prompts us to act more responsibly and thoughtfully. We begin to realize that we are not only creating our present, but also laying the foundation for our future lives. In conclusion, I want to remind you of the most important thing. Every life is precious, regardless of how long the soul took to choose the moment for its new incarnation. Just as each seed sprouts in its own time, each soul comes into this world exactly when it is necessary for its growth. Sometimes we become too absorbed in reflections about past and future lives, forgetting the most important thing, the present moment. It is precisely now, in this life, that we can create, love, learn, and grow. Every day gives us new opportunities for self-development and understanding, and every encounter can mark the beginning of an amazing story. People often ask, if the soul can choose the time of its return, why was I born at this specific time, in this place, in this family? The answer might be simpler than it seems, because here and now, you can gain the experience your soul needs. Every life situation, even the most challenging, carries lessons and opportunities for growth. Remember, you're not alone on your journey. Around you, there are countless other souls following their paths of development. Every encounter, every relationship can be part of a grand plan conceived even before your birth. Cherish these connections, learn from others, and share your experiences. It doesn't matter whether you believe in instantaneous reincarnation or a long interval between lives. What matters is how you live your current life. Fill it with meaning, love, and good deeds. Develop your talents, follow your dreams, and help others. These moments are the foundation from which your soul will continue its journey. And most importantly, trust your inner voice. Your soul is wise, it knows its path. Even if things don't seem clear or simple right now, remember that every experience is valuable, every moment is important. You are exactly where you need to be, and you have everything you need for your growth and development. Take care of yourself and treasure every moment of your unique life. Thank you for being with me all this time. If you enjoyed our journey into the mysteries of the soul, subscribe to the channel. Click the bell to ensure you don't miss new videos about the most intriguing mysteries of existence. Every week, we will explore new facets of our existence together and seek answers to pressing questions. See you in the next videos. Take care of yourself and your loved ones.